Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the Nike KD5 Elite. So you can see it comes in the same Elite style box as the rest of the Elite series. You have your gold KD logo there on the top, your Nike Basketball Elite Series logo on either side, and the box itself has kind of like a faux carbon fiber print to it, which is kind of cool. It's a drawer style box. Here's a look at the label. It's officially called the KD5 Elite. The pair I have here is a size 9 US. The colorway is Hyper Blue, Volt, and Black and Blue with a suggested retail price of $180. So that's enough about the box, and we'll get right into the shoes. Alright, here's a look at the superhero colorway of the Nike KD5 Elites. Really big fan of the shoe. I think the retail price is still a little bit too steep at $180. I didn't pay that much. Actually, in Canada, these things retail for $220, which is absolutely outrageous. Then you add on the tax, they end up being closer to $250, which is a crazy price to pay. I didn't pay that much at all. And if you are interested in getting a pair of KD5 Elites, I will have links up, but I would honestly recommend waiting a little bit. The KD6 is just around the corner, and you can expect these guys to go on sale sooner rather than later. I don't anticipate them selling out anytime soon, so you can probably safely wait till they go on sale before purchasing a pair for yourself. Now, the main reason why I picked them up is, one, I really like how they look, and two, they remind me so much of the Nike Mercurial Superfly 1, which is a soccer shoe that came out originally in, I believe, 2008 or so. I actually have a pair right here for those of you guys that don't know what I'm talking about. I believe it was one of the first shoes ever from Nike to incorporate Flywire technology in the upper, and you can see it just has that very similar look with the Flywire kind of poking through the inside of the upper itself, as you guys can see. Just really cool looking in my opinion. I love the look of the Flywire, and obviously it does serve its kind of purpose for performance reasons, but overall I just think it gives the shoe such a cool look. And the KD5 Elite just overall has a very low profile silhouette about it, almost as if it were a soccer shoe, even though it is just a low cut basketball shoe. But overall I just like the look of the carbon fiber. I love the colorway. I like the Flywire on the upper, and overall I just think it's a really cool looking shoe. Now, as far as the colorway itself goes, it's pretty simple. You have your Hyper Blue on the upper, you have that Black and Blue on the midsole, and then you have your Volt accents throughout, with the one exception being the carbon fiber heel counter here at the back. So very, very simple colorway. The blue itself has kind of like a metallic finish to it, which I think looks pretty good. The upper itself is made from a Hyperfuse material with your Flywire kind of like embedded inside. You can see it goes right to these lace loops, so it's kind of all attached in one single strand. So when you do pull the laces tight, it kind of pulls all of this together, which is kind of an unusual way of using Flywire, implementing Flywire. Normally it just goes right to a lace hole like it is on this particular shoe, but they did it with lace loops, which, I don't know, I'm kind of going to tie them up and see how it actually does kind of hug your foot, because I'm sure it does work well, because the Flywire is really kind of a cool technology in my opinion. You do have your tongue there, very similar to the standard version of the KD5. It's ventilated, there's some slits there. There's not very much ventilation, but there is some there. You have your KD logo there at the top of the tongue in Volt. The Volt laces, of course. These little lace loops are kind of like a darker blue or blackened blue, I would assume it is. Could look black in certain lighting as well. You do have your carbon fiber kind of heel counter here at the back, which is kind of unusually done. It's like just hovering right there. There is something underneath it, I believe, as well, or maybe not. And it just kind of hovers there. I'm not sure how that works for stabilization. I feel like it should go right to the base, but it definitely looks the part. It's got the 35 star logo that you're going to find on the heel counter of the standard KD5s as well. Again, it is a low. You have that Volt liner on the inside. The midsole itself is in that Hyper Blue color, or even the Black and Blue. It just depends. I'm not really sure specifically what color it is. On the instep, before I forget, you do have these little kind of holes there. They are ventilated ever so slightly. You can see that they've kind of cut off the Flywire for those particular two lace holes, so it's not going to be kind of restrictive through the midfoot when you do tie them tight to wear them for performance purposes. And there is that little bit of extra ventilation. I can't imagine that it does very much, but it is there. You have your Flywire logo right there, and then the one Nike swoosh in Volt here on the inside of the toe. Now, as far as the sole itself goes, it's Nike Zoom cushioning. I believe there's some kind of Zoom unit here in the forefoot, and the heel area is actually really unique, especially if you've never seen this shoe in person. It's actually what's called, I believe, a caged zoom. So this is actually plastic, if you guys can hear that, which is kind of unusual, and apparently there's a big zoom unit in here in the heel, and that is what provides all the cushion in the heel of the shoe, which is kind of unusual. I'm curious to walk around in these and see how they actually do feel, because it's kind of an interesting concept to me. I'm not sure if the KD5 Elite is the first basketball shoe to use this kind of technology, but definitely an interesting idea from Nike, and just very curious to see how it does actually feel when you're walking around. You have your Nike Zoom logo right there on the side of the midsole in that Volt color. And the plastic here just gives it a really unique look. It's kind of like semi-translucent. You can see the zoom unit ever so slightly through here. And overall, I think it just looks really cool. You have another Nike Zoom logo right there if you guys can see that. And as far as the outsole goes, it's kind of two different parts. You have your solid Volt color, and then you have a translucent Volt color in the heel, which is kind of cool. You have a little bit of carbon fiber peeking through the midfoot. I'm not sure how deep or how far it goes. I would assume it's just right there for show. And again, just to add a little bit of stiffness to the midfoot area of the shoe. And then of course it's pretty much your standard storytelling KD outsole pattern, or traction pattern I should say. You have the KD signature right there. You have another KD logo right there in the heel. And then there's all kind of little hidden messages through there. The most noticeable one is here on the toe. You can see it says "Now is the time," which is kind of cool. So that's pretty much it as far as the unboxing portion of this video goes. And to move on to a quick on feet so you can get a better idea as to how these shoes look. Alright, here's a look at the KD5 Elites on feet while wearing a pair of shorts. Personally, I think they look pretty good. They have kind of like a futuristic, modern look about them, which isn't for everybody, but personally, I really like this particular look. As far as the overall fit and comfort level of the shoes, they feel very, very comfortable. They're not as cushioned as I was expecting them to be with the Zoom unit in the heel, but they still feel very comfortable just to wear around casually. I'm sure they're pretty good to play in as well. As far as sizing goes, they fit just like the regular KD5s. I find that they fit a little bit big, so I went with a size 9 as opposed to a 9.5. And the fit and the length is pretty much perfect if you like that tighter fit. If you don't like such a tight fit, I would just stay to your normal size, and you should be just fine as far as the overall fit of the shoe goes. So that's pretty much it as far as what they look like on feet with a pair of shorts. And move on next to what they look like with a pair of pants. With a pair of pants, the KD5 Elites actually look better than I originally anticipated. They're definitely wearable with a pair of jeans, especially with a pair of track pants or sweatpants. And overall, I just like the colorway of this particular shoe. Pretty simple. You have your blue and your Volt. Nothing too crazy. It does stand out a little bit, but for the most part, it's just very simple and just clean looking overall. So that's pretty much it as far as what they look like on feet, and I'll leave you to my final thoughts. Alright guys, that's it for my review of the Nike KD5 Elites. Like I mentioned earlier, if you are interested in getting a pair of these for yourself, I'll have buy it now links to all of the available colorways on the review page of my website, which you can find linked down below in the description. Go ahead and check that out if that does interest you. On that same review page, you're also going to find the high quality images of this pair here that will give you a better idea as to how it actually does look in person. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. And if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. All of my social media links can be found down below in the description. And other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.